Greeting and welcome to the Intensive Success Growth. I'm Nishant Sharma, podcast host from Atlanta, Georgia. Please give warm welcome to our guest, Emily White. She is a podcast host, author, founder. Hi, Emily.
Hey, Nishant, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Okay, have a good day. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Sure. I think my family, definitely. My parents are swimming coaches. I was an athlete growing up. They're also entrepreneurs. They ran their own swim teams. So I think that really showed me how to do things on my own, how to set goals. And they were also big music fans. So they really influenced my love of music.
Great. So what are the top 3 reasons? Why do people fail?
Reasons. I don't know. I certainly don't want to judge anyone else's journey, but it's hard because I want to say giving up. But also sometimes, if a project isn't working, you need to move on to something else. I also want to say not working hard enough because I have a fairly strong work ethic. But at the same time, I think the third thing I would say is also not finding enough balance. So maybe working too hard.
Okay, great. What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn from it? And how did you recover from it?
I don't really know how to answer this question. It comes up from time to time because not to sound cheesy, I view each experience as a stepping stone or learning experience. When I'm speaking to undergraduate university students, I do try to slow down my story and remind them of times where I was overwhelmed or I was laid off or I was fired or whatever. But all of those things feel like blips on the radar and are not things I think about very often, and they all led to the next opportunity. So I've been pretty fortunate as far as that goes. And my plan B is I can always be a swim coach. So
great. What are your top 3 success secrets that other can model from you?
Get a full night's sleep, drink like 60 ounces of water a day. And I'm going to do 2 more actually. Move every day. It could be just going on a walk or something, and eat local food. That's where I get a lot of energy from. And if I can do 1 more, meditate. So that's 5 actually.
Great. I also do meditate last 7 years.
Nice. Amazing.
Yeah. What motivates you within?
What?
What motivates you within?
Well, great question. I am an inherent entrepreneur. I've always just felt the need to create and build the things that I want to see in the world. So that's pretty internal, but I also think, like I said, being an athlete growing up, you learn how to set goals and work hard to achieve them. And if you don't achieve them, learn how to reassess for the next season. Okay,
great. So, what's your company motto?
I don't know if we have one. The only motto I can ever think of, it's from when I was a tour manager for musicians like a long time ago. I used to say, my tour managing motto used to be, it always works out. So we'll go with that one.
Okay. Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is someone who works hard and as hard as we do. We work in music and sports. So, on the music side, we really have to love the music. And we have a no asshole rule. So we don't want to work with jerks. Yeah, so those are my 3 ideal traits in a client.
Okay. How do you find your ideal client?
They find us. We get pitched all the time by musicians in particular wanting to work with us. That's a big reason why I wrote my book, How to Build a Sustainable Music Career and Collect All Revenue Streams. It's a lot cheaper to buy the book than to hire my time for an hour or whatever. And then if people have questions beyond the book, which they usually don't actually, I'm available for that.
Okay. How do you engage your ideal client?
How do we engage? Again, they kind of come to us at this point. I really only do like hourly consulting. My business partner does a little bit more talent management, and she certainly engages them, by really keeping them focused. And that depends on what's right for the client. It could be through Slack, it could be through a bullet pointed email, kind of going through everything that needs to be discussed, or a weekly call, whatever's best for them.
Okay. How do you handle rejections?
Clients tend to come to us, so we don't have to deal with too many rejections. But I would say, I'm also the founder of I Voted Festival, where we built the largest digital concert in history, all to increase US voter turnout. And whether it's talent management or booking I Voted Festival, easier said than done, but you can't get too high on the highs or too low on the lows, because maybe one day there's an artist you're excited about that doesn't want to play I Voted Festival, but then the next day someone you are excited about says yes. So try not to get too caught up in that, and keep a level head if you can.
Okay. How do you deliver 5-star client experience?
By taking care of myself first. All those things I talked about before: sleep, meditation, exercise, water, eating well. If you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of others.
Okay, great. So how do you convert your client into your brand ambassador?
Sure. Well, we don't really operate that way. I mean, we work with musicians and athletes, so they're kind of brand ambassadors for other things. I think, people ask me all the time how I've developed my brand, and it's not something I've really consciously thought about. So I think whether it's a client or a talent or a business person, it's just about, being your authentic self. And personally, for me, I try to only post positive things on the internet, and that hasn't steered me wrong.
Okay. How do you start your day?
Yeah, well, my day starts the night before with a full night's sleep. And then I have a local organic green smoothie that I make with, produce from the farmer's market. And then I go and swim about 2,000 yards. I come back and I eat a healthy breakfast. I meditate for 5 minutes, and then I start my day.
Okay, great. So how young are you?
I'm 39.
You are not 39 years young. You are 21-year experience with 18-year young.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. So what are you grateful for today?
Just to be here. I mean, I don't know when this will air, but I'm in Brooklyn, and there was a shooting on the subway this morning at 8:30 a.m. So, we just have to be grateful for every moment.
Okay. What's your plan to achieve your goal?
Just continue to take care of myself, and work hard, but also make sure I'm taking breaks, so I can recharge and achieve those goals.
How do you overcome challenge?
Overcome. Yeah, it's difficult. I think I'm big on process. I'm big on, all those health practices I mentioned. And sometimes, you have to stick your head out of the sand and look back at everything that you have achieved, because it can be difficult when you're grinding away as, an entrepreneur, as a creator, as an artist. Yeah, and it's good to have multiple friends and colleagues in other fields for a little bit of perspective, and in your own field who can help with perspective as well. Great.
What advice you will give younger yourself?
I preach a lot of data collection for artists and talent, collecting email addresses, and also for talent, mobile phone numbers for text message clubs. I think in particular, entertainment industry and business folks should create a Google spreadsheet with their own database of their own contacts, because we all move on from MySpace to Facebook to Twitter to LinkedIn to whatever's next, and we don't own any of that data. So keep your own digital Rolodex, so who your network is, and can keep them posted on your work in the future.
Yes. Okay. What is your favorite book and what is your learning?
My favorite book is Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. I think it's amazing, and although Steve wasn't always the kindest person, I can empathize with, seeing a vision and being frustrated when other people don't see that and having to expend so much energy just to get them to buy into the vision. So it's a really really incredible book.
Okay. Who is your living mentor and what's the impact?
My dad, who's a very successful entrepreneur, running swim teams as a swim coach, and he instilled, all the type A skills that I have, on top of work ethic, teamwork, time management, and then, like I said before, a huge love of music.
Okay. What do you want to remember for?
Hopefully kindness, hopefully, supporting other people. And I mean, especially like turning 40 this year, like just, it's like I've been fortunate to accomplish so much in my career. So at this point, I just want to give back and help others.
Okay, great. So, what would you like to say about your guest experience on this show?
It was great. Can't complain.
Great. So now I would like to wrap up this podcast. Before wrap up, I would like to ask, what is your final word?
Just be kind to one another. It's a rough world out there, and take care of yourself, and try to keep things in perspective when you can.
Okay. Thanks for showing your wisdom with us. On the behalf of our community and team, we really appreciate you. Until the next time, all good wishes to you.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. Have a good day.